Am I extremely tired, or is there not a single female speaking character in the first episode of Mandalorian? I gotta have missed something, right?
God damn it. So, for those who don't know, I'm going to do a quick recap because, let's face it, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this particular individual. Anita Sarkeesian is a third-way radical feminist who, allegedly, and I have to say allegedly even though it's totally true when it comes to what I'm saying about her, ultimately because of her track record, used her third-way radical feminist ideas as well as her constantly playing the victim card to scam her way into the media attention as well as trying to push her ideas in the gaming industry. She's known for her infamous video series known as Tropes vs. Women, a video series that she never finished, that claimed that any example of a woman in video games, whether good or bad, was a trope and was destructive to women in real life. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this quick clip for you guys.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
Now, with a lot of people, seeing through her BS as well as calling her out continuously when it comes to her logic and her destructive, I'm saying destructive, not constructive, destructive criticism of video games, has slowly lost notoriety over the past couple of years because, let's face it, nobody wants to hear what this woman has to say when it comes to her crazed ramblings. Well, besides the people that already feed into her bullshit. A perfect example of this would probably be a follower of a cult who is receiving Kool-Aid from their cult leader, asking to drink it so they could go forth into the afterlife. Now, on occasion, Anita Sarkeesian will crawl out of the hole that she is hiding from to complain about stuff that honestly is not even an issue, and will come up with some BS things to say about it, as well as freak out when people call her out on her BS, like in this recent thing with Mandalorian. Now, I want to point out that I have not seen the show yet, and that's mostly due to the fact that I don't want to spend another subscription to another online service for just one particular show. But I have heard good things about it, that apparently it's a good start for a TV show, and apparently there's a baby Yoda, which is adorable. But unfortunately, people like Anita Sarkeesian can't, just watch the show for what it is, and has to complain that there are no women's in the show.
I guess Jon Favreau was like, well, if we just make all the vehicles female like the ship and the blarg, then we're good, right? That's just the right amount of female. It feels especially jarring given how much the recent films have done to amplify women and women of color who have been historically marginalized in the franchise.
You serious?
Okay, so I'm going to say this right off the bat. When it comes to a strong female character, or at least a strong character in general, whether it be male or female, I usually want to have a reason for them to be strong, like maybe giving experiences that show how they strong or become strong as a character, if that makes any sense. Them just being strong is kind of pointless, and for a lot of characters makes them seem perfect example Palmer from Halo who is not the best character and kind of unlikable, because she is a strong female character just because. And I'm sorry, but with the recent films, when it comes to The Last Jedi, the idea or trying to bring up the whole strong female character aspect seemed forced in a sense. And what I mean by that is they tried to dumb down other characters to try to make the other female characters, who I want to point out were only there for a limited amount of time, like that one commander who blows herself up in the end. They try to, for the most part, make Poe Dameron, probably one of the best characters in the movie, an idiot. And I want to point out, this is a X-Wing fighter pilot in the movie who is very good at his job, makes one mistake, and for the entire movie make him into an idiot. And then you have Rey, who is the Mary Sue and the one who automatically, like with no training, no, like, just instantaneously is able to use the Force. She doesn't go through training when she first gets it. She immediately, like, just knows everything. That's not interesting to a lot of people. Give her that progression where she slowly begins to know everything, or at least is trained to know everything. And now that I think about it, probably one of the biggest insults is what they did to Luke Skywalker. Yeah, I'm going there, and you know what? They could have done way more with his character, but instead they didn't.
I still feel like I just forgot an entire scene, and that in this year of our Lord 2019, an epic blockbuster television show could not be released without any female speaking parts.
There was the female Mandalorian who made his shoulder armor, but I totally get what you're saying. There is a real lack of women in the show so far.
Shout out to J. Dostin for reminding me of that one scene that had a female character. LOL, sigh, still.
You know, after reading a couple of these tweets, being lobotomized sound really good right now.
Wow, nearly 3,000 replies because one woman voices her opinion that we shouldn't be at a point anymore. We just accept media that normalizes patriarchy. Cool, cool, cool. Everyone's having a normal one, I see.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and correct what she meant when she says she's voicing her opinions. No. That would mean that you're, willing to accept what other people have to say. No. What you do, Anita, is you try to force your opinions on other people. And if somebody doesn't agree with you, then it's automatically patriarchy. They're a misogynist. They're a rapist. They are a racist. Any kind of cis name that you can come up with, you'll end up calling somebody because they don't agree with you.
Most mass media overwhelmingly centers men and perpetuates patriarchy. The hashtag Mandalorian is no exception. It wastes no time in establishing a patriarchal setting. A bartender is a man, the bar patrons are men, the cab driver is a man, except the first female we meet is the ship. It may introduce a few significant female characters later on, great. It doesn't change the fact it perpetuates and normalizes patriarchy. We all accept patriarchy in our mass media without batting an eye. When someone calls it out, we get upset. I wonder why.
My only question at this point is how exactly does it establish patriarchy? Oh wait, or is it just because there's men then that establishes patriarchy? Huh. Need a lot more evidence than that. Now, again, I haven't seen the show, so I could be wrong on this. But let's say if there was a scene where, like, every single female character on this planet that the Mandalorian was on were slaves, and their only role was to act as a slave, then you know what? I could see where you were coming from. But you can't just say, oh, because it's only casting men right now, that means it's patriarchy. Yeah, we need more evidence than that. I'm sorry. Now, I will say, giving that one example, and I know this is going to sound really dark, but one could also argue, too, that with a setting like that, maybe perhaps it's just showing you what kind of planet or what kind of law, if there is any, that is established on the planet that the Mandalorian, goes to. And when it comes to some of the aliens, or at least the Patrons, how exactly do you know that they're men? I mean, this could be spinned around at you that maybe perhaps some of them are transgender. Are you going to try to assume their gender? Oh my god, I stooped to her level.
Last night I tweeted. In that tweet, I A, made a typo, and B, was distraught that there was no female speaking parts in the first episode of #Mandalorian. I was wrong and thought that there was one scene with one woman speaking, which I clarified at the end of Chain, and yet, this morning I woke up to 2.7 thousand replies, and they are still coming in. These replies are a mishmash of "no one cares, you're pathetic, leave our precious toys alone, relax, good, women are dumb, etc, etc, etc. There is nothing particularly new, but it does offer us a moment to reflect on how online harassment is much more than sensational headlines about death and rape threats. It can also be aggressive dogpiles of thousands of voices desperately trying to silence feminist and progressive perspectives. Oh, you mean how you try to silence other people for giving their opinions? Do we even need to talk about VidCon when you harassed Sargon Akkad for doing nothing but attending the event, and then for some reason the heads of this particular event, VidCon, sided with you, even though ironically the panels that you were on were about cyberbullying and harassment?
My brain hurts!
Now imagine this every single time you tweet, or several times a month for years on end. Now you might be thinking that the left dogpiles too, and how is this different? Maybe you think I'm just mad because it's against my particular perspective. Allowing space to voice dissenting opinions is important, but there is a big difference between calling out oppressive and regressive ideologies and defending the status quo to the degree that it actively works to dehumanize the most vulnerable people in our society. Online harassment isn't just threats. It's never being given the benefit of the doubt because you are a woman. It's never being able to make a typo or small mistake. It's having 3,000 people actively trying to silence you because you have an opinion about a beloved TV show.
Okay, so we're gonna just kind of give the gist of this. One, I'm gonna call BS on you claiming, oh, it was a typo. You knew what you were doing. And at this point, it's not harassment if people are giving their opinions and combating your own opinions. I know that doesn't make any sense to you, but that's the honest truth. I'm sure a lot of people who have commented or replied weren't giving you shit. If anything, we're just giving you constructive criticism, but you can't handle that, now can you? And it's funny you want to cry victim about people that are giving their opinions, combating yours, but you're proceeding to try to force your ideals onto other people. I'm sorry, where's the fairness in all that? And as I stated earlier when it comes to her example for the show about it being all men and it's an all men's club, that whole thing could be spun around to make her the bad guy by people claiming, well, how do you know that all the aliens were men? Maybe, perhaps some of them were transgender. You know, possibly from female to men, or maybe men who are identifying as female. Man, wouldn't that make her look really bad? Hashtag feminist frequency is transphobic.
Oh shit! Burn! Burn!
Alright, I think that's enough talking about Anita or responding to her BS tweets. Thank you guys for watching. Truly appreciate it. I'm going to end it here. If you guys can, if you have anything to add, leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I'm sure I'm going to get a mixed bag of, good comments and hate comments, but, whatever. That's part of the job when it comes to doing videos. If you guys want to watch gaming content, then feel free to check out some of the stuff that myself has recorded, or some of the stuff that Aden, Magi, and everybody in the Novakast crew have live streamed. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description. With that being said, this is Rob of Novakast signing off. Have a good one, and take care. Peace.